San Antonio!
San Antonio!
Welcome to the wrap-up of 2025.
2025 has been a hell of a year.
Crazy year.
We brought back the most
Visited.
most frequent guest, smartest guest.
Guy with nothing to do. The guy has the least amount to do.
Best hair.
I will own that. I'm very honored to have that title.
Like the
Well,
Rock.
I think you could like grow it out. Like you got.
I could, but it's thinning. It's going fast.
It's
so
not
I'm,
like I would take off my hat, but
this is a preemptive strike. My haircut. It's a preemptive strike.
I
It
did
makes you look tough, though. Like,
Until I opened my mouth and people were like, oh, I could mug this guy. So
like the picture of you is why we won Marvel.
it wasn't. It wasn't my face, that's for sure.
I thought it was Mike Jimenez and the Spurs Jesus. And
Oh, yeah.
there was a big contingent on X.
Yeah.
And, like I wonder because it's always an echo chamber and stuff like that in those things. It's like there's so many positive in my thing. It's like everybody's like, and then you see the people like arguing against it. We were talking about this earlier. It's like, give us a good reason why it wasn't good. Like, other than an emotional, like,
Because
us
the
versus
rich
you.
people should pay for it themselves, Ken.
I hate that argument. This is what was fascinating about the whole thing. I think that because it was funny because I was reading an article. So I did I did tally, it was like 9 or 11 articles just from the beginning, like watching it, like us talking about it. And then that's when the Spurs reached out and I joined the campaign. But I only joined the campaign with like 18 days until the vote. And I was thinking to myself, hey, this is not a lot of time. And so what I was obsessed with was like, well, what are the real objections? And I couldn't find a real objections. What I thought it was it's almost like they had a box of objections, but with no unifying theme. It was like if someone says this and they are able to solve that one, pull this one out, right? If they say this, then there's this obscure thing called the chiller. Pull the chiller out, right? And just go. And so I just go. Well, there's no theme, and I had several people go, hey, how come you have not had someone who's from the opposition? And I go, well, the closest I can find to the opposition is Cops Metro. And you go to their site, the first post is misinformation. The first post was, we're raising your taxes. I go, this is not true. And so I just go, you know what? I'm just going to hit it one by one. But to your point, 48 to 52. That is crazy.
10,000 votes.
10,000
it's like 120 to 110 or 110
Yes.
to 100. So it was,
Shout out to Fair Oaks Ranch for winning it for us.
Hey, actually, Northside and
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
yes, Terrell Hills, Alamo Heights.
The Alamo Ranch area came out strong too.
Yeah, which I also get annoyed too because even that becomes it's rich people versus poor. I go, you could slice it so many different ways, but I just go, hey, I think that the hardest thing to articulate was this vote to me had nothing to do with sports. It had nothing to do with sports. It had everything to do with momentum of the city, future jobs, future job attraction, future talent retention, keeping. I remember I went to do a video on the Spurs, and the videographer was this young 20-something-year-old guy. And he was asking me about the project. So I was explaining it, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm not sure I want to stay in San Antonio. Like, it seems really like, I think I'm going to go try. He goes, I'm in my prime. I go, you are in your prime. And I go, the problem is that this is the point is these are the kinds of projects that should make it a no-brainer for you to stay.
Yeah.
But you're already like, the city seems weird. And it's because it's not betting on itself. And so thankfully it passed. But I just keep going, 48-52. Not a slam dunk. I'm glad it passed.
Yeah.
Woohoo. I think a lot of it, too, we talked about this, was Wemby just coming out of the gate and just
I think their winning record
dominating.
before, going undefeated in the preseason.
Yes. Yeah. That was.
Winning those first 5 games.
I think just how the mayoral vote
Yes.
is in a terrible time.
Yes.
NIOSA, night parade type.
Yeah.
Strategically, the Spurs were put in the position to have that vote right at the end of the preseason, beginning of the regular season, to where they don't have enough time to lose a bunch of games, and that go against them.
Or just lose Like if
Yeah.
they hadn't won, like if they
That's
had-
what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I think they lost one game at that point. Like, they lost the
Yeah.
game on the night they voted or something. Like, that was the first game they lost.
I remember I posted a video and in the comments someone said it was like right after the opening game. Someone was like, after that performance last night, I'm voting yes.
Yep.
And I was like, I'll take it. Thank you, Wemby. But I just think that the bigger issue is I think what they did was going on that little streak, reminding people, oh, we can have a winning team. We're associated with a winning team. We're a winning team. And it feels good to be on the winning team.
People have short-term memory. They don't remember what it felt like all those years we won all those championships.
100%.
If you look back, the energy in the city was just different during those times.
Oh yeah, I lived at the Majestic the last time they won, the apartments above, and I remember I couldn't get back to my apartment because everyone drove downtown to honk their horn till like 3 a.m. And I got to like Soledad and Pecan, and I had to tell the cop, hey, I live down there. I had to show my driver's license. But it was awesome. I didn't mind it because I was like, we're all winners.
Yeah.
And everybody was down. And I go, so they got a little flicker, I think, of what that was.
Have y'all ever been honking?
downtown. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't.
I haven't.
Oh,
I feel
man.
like I get an honorary pass because they kept me up till 3 a.m. living, you know.
I've been downtown honking multiple times, like to where my horn like went from like nerd nerd to like nerd.
Actually, I had a buddy that said, as part of the awareness campaign for the vote, he was like, you should just go, let's honk downtown for Project Marvel. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea. You know.
That's
But
like a San Antonio rite of passage is going honking,
yeah, you got to do it.
either downtown or on Military.
Why is it though? I feel like it's because
But what's the honking part? Like I get cruising, but why honk?
Because you're excited.
also, I think there's a little bit of like, I get to break the rules, but it's okay. Like it's sort of an informal. It's almost like on 4th of July, everyone's gonna pop fireworks because they're like, they can't arrest all of us. You know, it's like we get to be naughty for these 2
So I
days
think
a year.
what it really is San Antonio's way of doing an LA riot when they win.
Yeah. Yes, without destroying anything.
Yeah, without destroying
it's
it.
noise.
but-
It's noise rioting.
Yeah.
That's a great way to frame it. You're right.
It's San Antonio's LA riots.
Yeah.
Because you win.
There you go.
We should have done the honking that night when we won. But even that night, I was terrified. I thought it was gonna lose. I was like,
I was very nervous the whole time.
I was so nervous. Yeah.
Because it really has a huge impact on like not the rich, but a lot of middle class
100%.
that want to develop some stuff, that wants to create some businesses and things like that. That's who
100%.
The vote was really for. We were
Yes.
talking about earlier. It's like there is so much opportunity. Like betting on San Antonio, there's a lot of opportunity. We were talking about the Pearl today. It's overrun. Like it's so busy. Like I remember when they first opened, and you can see the natural progression of like where they like of how busy it is.
Yes.
Based on the cost of parking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Pearl garage was absolutely free. Under the bridge, absolutely
Some
free.
people wouldn't know the price of parking.
That's we have secrets. We have hacks. We have some hacks. But you're right.
I know.
the average Joe.
I know what you're talking about too. But like then they started charging and everything like that. It's because it's getting busier and stuff like that, and you've got to like reduce the congestion. So the best way to reduce congestion is make it more expensive, make people start commute, and everything. And I don't know if we were trying to debate whether or not it's real news or fake news about the Lone Star getting developed again, because it's always having the conversation about.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a new development or whatever, but. The point is that it is a good time.
It is a good time.
And it's like with the Project Marvel like passing, like with as busy and congested, if you will, that the Pearl is, from the Pullman Market to all over the farmers markets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like having another one of those in another location, creating another little district, will give everybody more opportunity and more access. And all of those people that didn't vote for it, that said it's not for them, those are the same ones you see at the Pearl all the time too. Like
I think we need more than one though, because we talked about it earlier. We have a second one at the Rock.
Yes.
It has holiday lights. They got Spurs game parties. They got.
How big is it? I've never been. I mean, is it like walkable? Like, is it?
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty decent
Multiple
size.
restaurants.
Like
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
shopping.
But I think the
The
point is,
parking sucks.
yeah. Well,
So when they did the draft party there, like they were parking people way back down this dirt field and like having to like dangerously walk through stuff.
That's hilarious.
But no, it's a great spot.
We don't do parking well in San Antonio.
We don't do parking well at all. And also, the sad reality is we're not going to fix it. So, like, actually, this is what's going to happen. This is my prediction, like my crystal ball. They're going to go into the design phase, and this will be the number one objection that people bring up. Parking, da, da, da. And I go, the best they're going to be able to do, which they should do, is to say, we're never going to solve this to your satisfaction. Our job is to give you as many options as possible. And so we're going to build a garage or two or whatever. We're going to make sure we align with VIA to do, green line or silver line or whatever one. We're going to, we're going to have ride share designated options. And that's the key. And I remember when I was running Geekdom downtown, we would do a monthly NPS score of, what do we like? It was the number one thing people complain about parking. And I just realized I'm never going to turn this into satisfied customer. So the best I can do is say, there's a lot here, there's 10 lots within walking distance. Here are the prices for them. Here's the bus route that runs, or here's some bike racks if you want to bike here. Here's the closest apartment if you want to live there and walk here. But I'm never going to solve it. And so I think this is very anti-San Antonio because this is what I love about this is that it's forcing us to confront the old way and the new way are smashing. The old way of San Antonio was, let me build a Walmart with 4,000 parking spots around it. And you just can't do that in the urban core. You just can't do that. But all of us grew up in a San Antonio where there was 10 parking spots for me wherever I went, right? And so now in the urban core, we're seeing this shift where it's like, that's not the way it is. And if you grew up in San Antonio, your brain short circuits, and you're like, I can't compute this. How, why am I not given, 5 options in the front, right? And it's so the key is you got to have a lot of options for parking, and but I think that it has to be communicated. You have to communicate.
What do you think about charging people to drive into downtown? Like New York charges people to get into the city.
Yeah,
a lot of cities. Paris does the same thing.
I think locals would be pissed, but
yeah. When I lived in London, they called it a congestion charge, and you would pay in between basically rush hour. So rush hour had it. I just think that I'm open to everything. I just think it's about timing. And so I just think it's not time for that yet. Like, we're not dense enough downtown, like you can still figure it out. Hey, I don't ever pay for parking, and I'm a downtown dude. I am willing to walk a little bit further. Right, so like when I go to Hemisphere, I won't tell anyone because I don't want to give away my secret spot. But there's like a one street where I always park. There's a spot there, and then I walk across, and I go into the park. When I'm downtown, really is the only place where I'm forced to. But even then, I have a super secret garage that's real cheap, and so like I got my little spot. But I'm willing to do a little bit more than the average Joe. But my point is that if you're same with the Pearl, I have a couple little failover spots. But I'm willing to do more. I also think that this is another thing that nobody.
By the doggy daycare.
Yeah, actually, that's one of them. I got a couple of. Don't give away the secrets to everybody. Okay?
That was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
That was.
Well, I think that one of the things that I heard a long time ago is, it's not for every case, but when someone complains about parking, one of the things that they're indirectly telling you is they're saying without saying, your place isn't special enough for me to pay for parking. If a place is special enough, I'm willing to pay the freight. If I go to a concert and I really want to go, when Bad Bunny comes, people they're gonna bitch and moan about it, but they are going to pay
Chris Brown
for the
they're
parking.
paying $50-$80.
Yeah, 100%. I guarantee you, if Taylor Swift came to the Alamo Dome, every 13-year-old is gonna make their parents pay, the $100 or whatever. And so I think then it goes back to, hey, make places special enough to where people are all, I'm willing to pay for this and go there. And I think that's what I hope Lone Star happens. I do, because I do think we need more options, but parking is always going to be a thing. It's a big issue here.
Because I pay for parking just to run into the Pearl to go get a orange vanilla latte from local coffee.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I also too, what I love is that I was telling a friend of mine this yesterday. It's one of my I pretend to be annoyed and outraged about this, but I'm really not, is the amount of photo shoots happening at the Pearl. And it's gotten wild.
Yes.
They lit up the little amphitheater.
That
bridge is crazy. Well, there's 2 more bridges now. And I remember when they were in construction, I was like, oh no, I can just see the photos. I can just see it. And sure enough, I saw the photographer. And she had the 2 kids running to their mom. And I was just glaring like, oh, but that's kind of cool. But I saw one like near the amphitheater. They had literally brought in their own backdrop. They brought in a backdrop, red velvet, marry me, candles on both sides. And I was like, you literally set up your own set on the Riverwalk. And I will say, it's funny. I like to make fun of it, but it's also kind of cool that the Pearl has not shut that down. Like, they could be jerks about it and say, don't do that. Yeah. But I do think it's sort of cool that they're like, hey, man, we made this place. It's beautiful. Come take your photo shoot here.
They will kick you out of Emma for doing that, though.
Of where?
For Emma.
Yes, Emma. Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
yeah. Because I think and also because
we've done a little bit in there. We sniped a couple of little.
Well, and I feel like that's okay because
people are paying to stay there.
Yes, and they know they would get it. It's, yes. So, but even then, I could tell they're not like they're real subtle about it. They're not real jerks, So yeah.
We could do a few less quinceañeras downtown.
And the quinceañera pictures, the engagement pictures, the family. I mean, it's
and at the same time, like
it's wild.
Even like when Thea was back in high school, the Almai's volleyball team, they go down and do their photo shoot down there for like so they got all the girls. So you have a team. You're bringing whole teams down there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, it's
beautiful. I think
if you
keep it during the weekday where it's not too many people, like that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It brings people down there. They spend money.
Yeah, I think.
I'm sure they went and got coffee at the Baker of the Rain.
Yeah, to me the key is, I can't wait because if you look at the amount of apartments they're building,
it's crazy.
It's nuts. I love it.
I do too.
And I want to see how quickly they get filled up, because you have this explosion there. You have what Weston Urban's doing downtown, which I think is great.
300 Main has been pushing out some videos.
Yes.
Trying to lease it up. I would live down there, but Delilah wouldn't. So
I was shocked by how many people that I didn't know live there that live there. And so they've done a really good job of leasing that up. Because I'm always very cautiously optimistic. Like, I want it to happen. And I just, like, I feel like in 1 week I met like 4 people that all lived at 300 Main. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, hey, that's great. Legit. Also, UTSA is about to open. I think they already had their grand opening for San Pedro 2. It's the second building on the creek that they built. And that's going to bring professors. It's going to bring all kinds of people that are actually working in there. And so a lot of them will live. They'll probably go between the Continental, which is, I don't think it's open yet.
And there'll be a lot of students living down there.
And there's going to be a lot of students down there, yeah. So I feel like that's, I think what I'm waiting to see is, now that you have sort of the biggest part of Marvel approved, what's going to happen around there? Like, is it like, are the speculators going to come in? Same with the Mission. But I do think it's really set up. I mean, there's people out there that are going to be just so opposed to everything I'm saying. But the Mission baseball stadium plus Marvel plus the rodeo, we were just talking about that. The year-round activation is going to be such a game changer.
It would be interesting with UTSA because like their football coach just said something a couple of weeks ago about like money that's being put back into the football program and like for the NIL and all of this other stuff and everything. And I saw a post today that talked about how like for the most part UTSA would be okay with like 5-5 seasons and just kind of third, fourth tier, not making the playoffs and stuff like that. But you think of like really cool like urban centers and stuff like that. We won't give it to UT, Austin and everything, but even like the Ohio State, Columbus, Ohio, and some of these other like where you have a strong like sports background, football team and everything that's driving that activity downtown still and bringing in people.
Yes.
It's nobody wants to give. Again, it's like giving money to athletes and to sports and stuff like that. But again, you invest there,
yes,
and it pays dividends everywhere else. And it's like the amount of partying and stuff that goes on with those types of, like, if you can like really build up UTSA.
Ken really enjoyed that Columbus scene down there.
The what?
Columbus, Ohio was cool.
Oh, got it.
There was a convention going on that Brad.
Well, okay. So speaking of recaps,
Guys in mesh underwear. Walking around.
that's
Literally,
funny.
it's like crazy.
That's hilarious. Very diverse. It's very
Just
diverse.
stuff hanging out,
Yeah.
walking
Hey,
down the
you know,
street, like-
as my DA used to say, flaunt it if you got it.
That's right. I wish it.
So council.
I wish gray sweatpant jeans look good on me.
Yeah. That's why I'm in a hoodie, bro. You know, I gotta hide the goods.
Like hides the fluff.
Yeah. All right, council and Bear County judge. So I mean, I don't really pay attention that much, but I go, hey, old Ron.
Ron Nirenberg.
Now I'm biased because most people don't know this, but I knew Ron before he was mayor. Way back in the day, my older brother used to do something called Milo Bowl. He's an MRI tech still, and he used to have a coworker named Milo, and he's this huge power lifter dude, and they were obsessed with Madden football, and so they started this Madden competition called Milo Bowl, and Ron used to work out at the same gym with this guy Milo, and so we had it at my brother's house. So we had this Milo Bowl competition, like full brackets. I had never played. I just went because I just thought it was cool. I'd get eliminated first round.
Yeah.
Well, it was the first time I met Ron, and he had super short hair, and I mean, he's jacked now, but he was mega jacked, and I was like, this dude is legit. And so I knew him way before his political career. And so anyways, he just always super cool. But hearing that he's going to run for judge, I just thought was super interesting.
Yeah.
And I just go, okay, because the council is very, very in disarray right now.
Yeah.
And I just thought,
They're not liking their leadership.
there's just not a lot of consensus right
They just
now.
need more research.
They just well, I just go, it'll be interesting if you have a judge that could probably get more consensus on the council, even though he's not on the council.
Yeah.
You know? But I do think that one of the things, shout out to the former Judge Nelson Wolf, the legend. He was very good about bringing the city and the county together in projects and like doing some awesome stuff, you know, Mission Reach, you know, like a lot of big projects like the Tobin Center and Museum Reach. Like he was really on the forefront of that stuff. And so I do think, but again, I'm biased because I've known Ron for ages and I think he's a good dude. And so I think he could do a killer job on it. But I was very shocked by it. I wasn't expecting it to
I
happen.
heard people
I was
complaining
surprised
that he
that he
didn't have a law degree.
Which is crazy because that judge,
Isn't a judge.
it's not a judge like a
Yeah.
presiding judge, but I
Even
made that
presiding
mistake
judges
too.
Don't necessarily have to have law degrees.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Nelson had a. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think that's.
I just saw people complaining about it on
because he was
Facebook.
Sun
Yeah.
Harvest, wasn't he? He owned
Yeah.
Sprout or Sun
Yeah.
Harvest.
He's very entrepreneurial.
Yeah. The do you know who is like maybe running against him at this point?
Honestly, I
Or
feel.
when is that election?
I don't know. That's a great question. I think it's
Because I
sometime
thought he
next
would
year.
go like Senate, like state, like represent and like
Maybe Nyosa
time
on the
frame.
date. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in the most opportune. No, I actually don't know. Matter of fact, I'm scheduling with his office. I'm going to interview him. But I think he has a lot of momentum. So it's weird because going higher in Texas, he's not a Republican, so he'll get a lot of pushback on it.
Yeah.
But local San Antonio politics is very Democrat. But what's interesting about this race is it's really going to come down to a primary between him and Sakai. They're both Democrats, so whoever wins that is going to win it. And I just think it's a really interesting. I don't mind Sakai. I just know Ron, so I'm probably
November
gonna support him.
3rd, 2026.
Still got a
Okay.
year.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to find out, see what like their vision for the county is.
Because he
and
was
everything.
pushing Marvel too,
Who?
Ron.
Yes. Oh yeah, he's been a huge proponent of it. That's why I feel like you can't really lose. But I do think that Ron. I will say this, and I don't know Sakai, so it might be unfair. But I have yet to see like a vision, like a big vision, and I think that Nelson was really good at that. Julian Castro was really good at that. Julian Castro launched the decade of downtown. I mean, he had a very clear vision, incentivized the developers to kickstart it, which is funny because no one ever talks about that now because it's like now the winds have changed. Oh, we're giving incentives to the greedy developers. But Julian Castro was an incredible catalyst for all of that development. And I just think that I feel like
that was when money was free.
Yes.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
Because that was back when like San Antonio 2020 or Vision 2020 and all of that.
Before that, I think.
Well,
that kicked it off. He kicked off
because the Vision 2020 started like in 2015. Like it started a few years before that.
I think it was 2011 or 2010 is when he launched it. But I think what's interesting about it is that people don't remember that before that there was little going on. Matter of fact, Graham only owned at that point the Westin Center, and he would tell you that before Julian Castro launched the Decade of Downtown, he wanted to completely divest of his real estate holdings downtown. Wow. He was like, downtown was terrible, it was empty, and Julian Castro actually gave him a reason to reimagine. He was like, dude, we need a great downtown. Every city needs a great downtown. And he sort of changed Graham's trajectory on downtown. And, now, but I'm very thankful he did.
Yeah.
But it was this, and I think this is really what's missing. Whether you like Gina or not, I think, and I want my elected leaders to succeed, but I feel like there's no vision for the future. I think, and I go, your vision is to fight
everything.
Well, that's what you're.
And I go, that's not a vision. I just feel it's not collaborative. And by the way, you need 6 votes. This is the thing, and I think this is part of the recap. Is everybody is now. If they weren't paying attention before, they're getting a civics lesson on how local city government works, which is you cannot be the mayor and just make things happen. You have to have 6 total votes to get your agenda, which means you have to be a collaborative person. And I hope that she can get it done, but the history has shown thus far that she doesn't have consensus. That's not a emotional statement. That's just let's look at the record, and I hope it gets fixed.
Well, it goes back to what you said. What's her vision and stuff like that? Is other than a campaign of obstruction. Like, what has she put forward that says I want to do this for San Antonio?
Yeah, and look, to be generous to her, she's inherited a big old deficit. Right, it's not her fault. It's not the council's fault. And so that I would not want to be in her shoes because she has to be the surgeon that decides which organ to cut off. And so there's no nonprofit that's going to be happy if they cut the budget, which is really what they have to do. They're going to have to cut, and nobody wants to cut. Right, so you'd rather go. So there's only one. Reduce your spend or increase your revenue. Well, they're trying to increase revenue, but I just think you're avoiding that. You're gonna cut some. You're gonna have to, and it's gonna suck.
I've been trying to increase my revenue.
Yeah, exactly. We're all exactly.
I don't want to. Cut
we all have that in common with her.
Cut my spending.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just go. Hey, we gotta do it.
You gotta do both the same though. Like at the same time.
Yeah, totally. So, and I think that's the big dilemma. It's unfortunate that the Spurs were cast in the middle of all that because I thought it was an unfair. Characterization of them, like they, their proposal, I still think, and I will die on this hill, was so collaborative and generous as a partner. Like we're gonna do $2 billion. like who does that? Anyways, so it is an interesting year, but 2026 is gonna be because that's when you're gonna start seeing dirt move.
So what do you think?
I mean, it's moving though. I mean,
it is moving. You're right.
The Texas culture.
There's a big old hole there. You're right. It is moving. Yeah.
I feel like they took that first step and like, all right, we're going to knock this down.
Yeah.
Or
kudos UTSA. I think that was UT. Sorry. It's not UTSA. I keep doing it. It's UT San Antonio. UT San Antonio.
UT San Antonio.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's.
And that's what's crazy is they changed UT to UT Austin. Like, they're like the hierarchy.
Yeah.
They really are trying to get away from like, this is the University of Texas. This is like it's each one.
Okay, so I'm doing a series. I think I'm going to start it this week on UT San Antonio, and it's just about one little part of their career development, and they have regularly now, Netflix, Amazon. They have a story about a kid who's placed at the UFC Like just like they're meta. They're making great moves that nobody knows about. And so when I'm interviewing for it, they have like a champagne problem, and they have a bunch of stuff going on. Nobody talks about the acquisition of the Southwest School of Art, right?
Yeah.
Which is done. They've just merged with UT Health Science, which makes them this behemoth now, and they're still buying like so much property downtown. I mean, they're making their lead. They have a quantum. I have a friend who works in the Center of AI. His name's Professor Jeff Prevost, really good guy, and he was telling me all of this quantum research that they're doing. I only understood like every third word he said, but it was essentially UT San Antonio is leading the charge, going and building this consortium of other universities just around quantum research.
Well, here's the thing.
And I was like, that's crazy.
So with like the quantum computers and everything like that, I just saw an article that like where AI was 5 years ago, where it started getting rapid like acceleration and like its abilities and stuff like that, that's where quantum computing is today.
Yes.
It's like it's just a handful of years away from being like next level. And that stuff is crazy because then you have like Elon talking about creating a satellite
network.
Have you heard this? He wants to like all of his Starlinks across the entire planet being powered by the sun, right? Because and cooling is easier and everything like that. That being a network data center that's around the earth, like it's a satellite data center.
That's wild.
We're all probably gonna get cancer a whole lot easier, like 5G stuff.
But if my videos upload faster, I'm okay with it.
But
I'm down.
ChatGPT really let me down on Thanksgiving.
ChatGPT's gone way down.
I was
Oh,
trying
really?
to
Tell
make
me.
an image of myself as a Thanksgiving Day parade float, like the balloon. And like it kept telling me it was gonna do it, and it kept not doing it. It's like our image generator's down. Like
Yeah,
we'll let
the
you know
image
when it comes
generator's
back
not.
up.
well, even their reasoning and the way that it's processing and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never used it for image. It's always so hit or miss on it. But you said it's gone down. What other ways have it's gone?
Just like the way like when it's processing and stuff like that, you'll see. I've been seeing like a lot of like examples. So I don't use it as often. I use Grok for the most part. But like the latest iterations, they put some like handcuffs on it, if you will, from the OpenAI standpoint.
Yeah.
Of like the types of output it's doing. So it's changed it a little bit. Like there's a lot of people complaining that it's like the newer versions aren't as quick and as in depth of thinking.
Are you using Gemini at all?
Just when I'm in Google doing stuff and everything like that for the most part, but not separately.
It's funny because like all this AI stuff, I all feel like the old guy already because I'm like, but I'm so used to ChatGPT and
That's the same way. Me too.
Yeah, but I'm not using it for anything super advanced, but I do use it every day. I mean,
I use Grok the most, and the way that I'm on X a lot, more so than I probably should, and it's got a great little feature that's got the little Grok symbol at the top of each post, and if you push that little thing, it will then analyze the video. It'll analyze the comment. It'll analyze
fact check it.
It'll fact check it right there, so you don't have to do like the @Grok anymore. You just push the little thing, and it'll fact check it. And I will tell you that there's, especially if somebody that's in my For You page, and if I fact checked it and what they said is wrong, I mute them and make sure that they don't come in my feed anymore.
Oh wow,
I use it to like get rid of people that spread false shit.
that's a great idea.
So was it true when they released like the IPN?
The what?
What is it? The internet the number where you can see where people were posting.
Oh, the
from?
IP address?
Oh, yeah.
IP address?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can do that.
And then, so X supposedly did that.
And a lot of people from India.
Well, the Department of Homeland Security from the United States was posting from Israel.
That was fake. That was a fake image. Yeah, that was not a true one. That was
like I think it's called like IP spoofing. Someone's gonna fact check me on this.
But like no, like if you go to
I got like a fake IP thing on my TV
although I do.
But like you go.
Here's what I love about that. So there's a very famous book called Startup Nation, and it's about how sort of the Israeli economy became like they're number 2 in venture capital in the whole world behind the U.S. and how it was sort of how they became this behemoth. And the opening story is about this cyber company, Israeli cyber company, and they said something that I thought was so brilliant. They were like, their technology. She goes, the way you catch bad guys on the internet is everybody, whether knows it or not, has a digital fingerprint. But most of us are not doing anything bad. So we just go on with our lives. He goes, but bad guys are trying to erase their fingerprints online. And so if you know where to look, when you like, where you look is where people are trying to hide it. And so the way to do it is transparency. So I actually like this sort of move to show your IP address. If you're afraid, if you're trying to conceal it, it's already the first red flag.
Yeah.
And I sort of now, again, there's always going to be this debate about privacy, which I think people should be able to privacy. But
You're not doing anything wrong. Why do you care?
Exactly. I had one girl I dated that ever broke into my phone, and I just said, I'm not going to change the password because I got nothing to hide. Like, go have your. I just think that it's the same on the internet. Like, hey man, you can go through my because I saw an article that said, oh my God, they're feeding ChatGPT your emails, and I was like, well, I mean, they're gonna get the occasional cat meme, but like, I'm not. I don't have any trade secrets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not. Yeah.
The best way to keep you from going to places that you shouldn't is have your daughters have your constant
Yeah.
location.
Yeah. Exactly.
Your daughters.
They keep you honest.
Would my daughter be upset if I was at this location?
Well, my UTSA professor guy was telling me, I'm gonna butcher this too, but I'm gonna attempt it because it sounded cool. He was like, the next wave of things is like quantum hacking.
Yeah.
And like using quantum mathematics to, because a lot of encryption is math based. And it's like, well, when you can compute quantumly, you can hack all of that stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, my brain hurts from.
There was a tech company, I think it was in Japan, that their security system for their computer is connected to a wall of lava lamps. And because whatever algorithm that you create for your security, it's a pattern. Eventually, every algorithm is a pattern. And so their security gets updated every 5 seconds, 10 seconds based on the lava lamp flow.
That's cool.
Which is, it's
so random.
It's more random. But it still, is it?
Right. That's true.
Is it? That's
a great point.
Because if we are in a simulation, there's an algorithm controlling
you're right.
that too.
You're right.
There's always an algorithm.
Well, I think what I loved, what I loved about that story is, and I think we'll definitely explore this in 2026, is that quantum research, downtown develop, like UT San Antonio is this behemoth that is really. They almost have too many stories, so their own marketing department probably can't keep up with it. But just because I know people in there, I'm hearing these stories and I go, this stuff has to get out because this could be the Stanford, right, of our area, and start producing the next wave of, and like it's legit, it's a tier 1 university, and so I think that. I'm really excited about 2026 because I think we've set ourselves up. It caused a lot of blood and pain and muckles and tears into 2025. But I think it's setting us up for a rowdy 2026.
And I think I like the idea that the city's really true economic growth, I think, is from like the University of Texas, UT San Antonio.
Yeah, 100%.
And because when you say it could be the Stanford of San Antonio, like most people don't realize how much money universities make off the patents that their students create.
Yes. It
is a cash cow.
Stanford was the talent engine of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
The Silicon Valley doesn't exist without Stanford,
and they get a piece of everything that's developed in that little classroom.
And and also what's cool too, and you'll see this when I post the first article, is that like they're a very good corporate citizen. It's like 53% female, a huge percentage Hispanic, huge percent first generation college graduates. So like I think they're doing great work of providing opportunity. Matter of fact, so I'll give you a great quote. I opened my article with this, and it's a quote from Diego Bernal. He's the guy I quote, and he said, "Talent is evenly distributed, but opportunity is not." And he was like, you and I went to Tafoya, but there was people in our neighborhood smarter than us. Totally true. We just got the opportunity and they didn't. And I think what I like about UT San Antonio is that they're such a behemoth now, but they're literally still providing opportunities. Lots of opportunities to students that normally would never have it. And so 2026, I'm very excited.
Especially when you have universities being I want to say less necessary, but a lot of the degree plans and everything, especially the ones that were very DEI associated, women's studies and stuff like that, where your only job is to go
underwater basket weaving,
and go back and teach at another university to teach the same people that has no real economic sustainability. But 2026 is coming.
2026, it's around the corner, and it's going to be a dope year.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
We'll be here to cover it.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
See y'all next year.